out $1,600 for any advance at $1,600.
Hello, I'm Gary Garland, the magic specialist at Swann Galleries, and I'm very pleased to do an introduction for you of the Christian Fechner Collection of American and European Magic, Part 3. We've done this 2 years in a row, and now we're doing it again. We're happy to be able to bring you some kinds of things which we've never had before, namely apparatus. Apparatus basically comes in 3 different types: turned wood, nickel-plated metal, and copper apparatus. We have a very good representation in this sale of all of the different types. Most of the apparatus being offered in this sale comes from the end of the 19th century or the early part of the 20th century. And we're fortunate in that most of the great tricks that people know and have seen performed are being represented by the type of apparatus being offered in the sale here. A goodly portion of what we're offering is a French manufacture, but we also have things from Germany, England, and the United States as well. We are also offering decorative objects in this sale. We have a nice run of porcelain plates, all with magic themes. We have several wonderful gilt clocks, a number of paintings, even a couple of fans. Like the 2 past Fechner sales, we also have a wonderful selection of posters representing the great magicians of the 19th and 20th centuries. We have posters by Ionia, Chung-Ling Soo, and many others. Virtually every well-known magician is represented in this sale. The sale begins with nickel-plated apparatus. We have a wide variety of things, including handkerchief balls, appearing and disappearing clocks, bird cages which collapse, the standard cups and balls, changing bags, and a couple of traveling lamps made by Carl Willmann, of which only 3 complete examples are known. Amongst the turned wood apparatus, we have millet boxes, a die vase, an interesting gavel, production and coin wands, and even a nice mortar and pestle. This is one of my favorite routines in which a member of the audience surrenders his pocket watch to the magician. The magician then puts it into the mortar and pestle and seemingly destroys it. However, there is a secret chamber where the watch has been stored and it is returned unharmed to the person in the audience. An interesting group of copper apparatus includes a funnel gun, a Raymond tube, a dove pan manufactured by De Vere, and a mechanical flower which was made around the year 1850. This is an interesting device in which the magician takes a ring from a member of the audience and basically palms it, making it disappear, but then magically the ring reappears in the center of the mechanical flower when it opens. A number of wooden and divination boxes are also included in the sale. The divination boxes basically were constructed to allow the magician to seemingly read somebody else's mind. Of course, there was a trick in each box which allowed him to do that. There are also 2 nice examples of wrapping hands. The magician would ask a question of a member of the audience, and the hand would wrap the answer to the question, a yes or a no or a maybe. Or it could indicate numbers if somebody was holding up their hand with a number of fingers showing. As usual, the sale includes a large number of magic posters and ephemera pieces related to magic and magicians. We're pleased that we were able to offer 10 different Chungling Su posters in this sale. My favorite amongst the Chungling Su posters is one titled Chungling Su and His 10 Assistants. It's a portrait of the magician with his 10 assistants. The assistants happen to be his fingers. We will be offering the Houdini Metamorphosis poster, one of the earliest posters issued by Houdini, and the only one which features his wife, Bess. It involves the trunk mystery in which Houdini goes into the trunk and then his wife actually reappears from the trunk, and shows that Houdini was involved in this disappearance and escapology very, very early in his career. We have been fortunate to be able to offer Ionia posters in the past 2 Fechner auctions. And in this auction, once again, we have 4 different posters. The posters are unique in the fact that they are so beautiful, as is Ionia herself. The posters always show a lovely lady standing on stage. She was also a very, very accomplished performer. Amongst the ephemera being offered in the sale is a large number of autographs, wonderful vintage photographs, and souvenir and performance programs. Amongst the Houdini ephemera are signed letters, business cards, holiday sentiments, and wonderful photographs. Lot 192 is a vintage photographic portrait of Houdini manacled and hanging upside down. This is one of Houdini's tricks which he performed before large crowds in public later in his career. He was tied and then hung upside down, and he always managed to escape. Painted metal has always been very popular because of its sheer beauty. Its function has always been the same as other types of the nickel-plated and the wooden devices, but it's very pretty and looks good on stage. Included in this sale are the usual trays, boxes, and funnels. We have a spectacular Cones of Satan as lot number 277. This particular one has 11 cones with the original stand. It involved the appearance and disappearance of liquids, and it was popularized in this country by Carl Germain, and the apparatus often bears his name. There are a number of signature items in the sale, and by that I mean apparatus which was used by well-known magicians. And one of my favorites is a vanishing candelabra that was used by Fred Capps. Actually made in aluminum, and it's accompanied by its base and a nice original case. The candelabra was lit and then mysteriously disappeared. Actually, what happened is it collapsed, it was on a string, and it was pulled into the magician's sleeve. Amongst the half-dozen paintings in the sale is one by Enrique Atalaya. Though untitled, it could be called Magic on the Market Day in Spain. There's a market taking place with people in period costume, and amongst them is a magician performing, wearing tights and the magician's funny cloak. He balances a feather on his nose while he spins a plate on a stick with one hand and balances a ball on the brim of the hat with the other. Behind the magician is a table holding cups and balls and other magical apparatus. This shows that this particular magician was an itinerant, moving from village to village. We are offering quite a number of the boxed magic sets, from very simple to quite complex. Most of the sets include a nice mix of painted metal, turned wood, and nickel-plated objects. All of the sets come in their original boxes, most of them compartmentalized. On the larger sets, it's almost like Christmas Day when you open it up and look at all of the toys inside. The preview begins on October 20th, and we hope that you can come down and see all of the material being offered. The sale is somewhat different than the past 2 auctions we've had for Mr. Fechner because of its breadth. Never before have we offered such fine apparatus and decorative objects. Given the diversity of the material in the sale, it should make for a very, very interesting auction.